Discord, as well as sign up with my WeBull link in the description below. This is the Discord. I'll just go through it real quick with you all. Again, like I do in other videos as well. This is a profits channel. We got a trade ideas channel. I actually just went over a Boeing play that is coming up. There's the chat, welcome, rules, and options explained that goes over a bunch of stuff. And then there's voice chats as well if you guys want to get in there and talk. But in today's video, we're actually going to go over levels and price action. So I'm going to go over with you how to level out charts, and it's a lot easier to determine where price is going to go when you have levels charted out. So let's just go ahead and get into it. I'll teach you how to do it. So you want to have this price tool if you're on Thinkorswim, or if you're on WeBull, which is another good brokerage. Link in the description below. You just use the horizontal line basically, and it'll automatically pull up the price for you, which is nice. But I have this price tool, and I already started actually. I like to do my dailies in a shorter line like this, shorter dots, and then I like to keep it bright, obviously. And then I also do a weekly levels as well, but I like to keep these longer. So what I'll do is I'll do, say I wanted to chart that right there as a level, and I'll tell you why I did that right there. And I'll make this, no, fuck that color, that color's ass. What do we want, dude? What color do we want? Let's go green. It only makes sense. Alright, so 1903, why did I mark that? Well, you see it was resistance right here, first off, which was like last week. So that's really what we want to be watching for next week. But if you go back farther, like sometimes you can even see that it matches up with other stuff. But also this daily and this weekly together create a range right here as well. So you can see it bounced off that and came back down here. So that creates a range that can actually be a trade in itself. So if it passes that and confirms, you can actually trade up to that and actually know when to exit, because you know that could be resistance. You know people could actually start selling off once it hits 23, 28. So that's also a good reason to have levels as well. You just really know where the price is going to go if these levels do end up confirming on a longer time frame chart. Obviously, shorter time frame charts aren't as accurate, but if you use longer time frames, like they can literally be so accurate that you'll have like 90% of your trades go in your favor. So, at least in my experience. Anyway, let's get into it and actually just charting this out. There's not really much to this, but I'll keep doing the weekly. As you can see here, that was a level on the weekly. That really seems to have a lot of resistance right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. Tried testing it and didn't go through, so it broke once and it broke again. It's breaking now, so here soon it'll probably pull back unless it has a lot of momentum and it can go through 23, 28. Then it can gap fill all the way up to 47.50. And I'll tell you how I know that, just from past experience and price levels and how they work. If this has a lot of momentum and goes through 28, 23, 28, it can fill this just as fast as it filled this going down. So as you can see, this is a weekly time frame. So 1, 2, 3 weeks it took for this to go from a, let's see here, from a $47 stock to a $4 stock. It took 4 weeks. That's insane. That's a $43 move in 4 weeks. That's a really good swing trade, honestly. So if you can capture that full move, obviously the gap's not that big, so your actual move would be 23.28 to 47.69, so that's the gap. And I'll show you how to map out a gap as well, like this. You just get the rectangle. I think they have that on WeBull as well as Thinkorswim. And I just do that, basically. It just shows you where the gap is. So as soon as this starts hitting up here, 23.28, that's where I'm looking at play for a trade. I don't want to play around here in this bouncy stuff right here, in these bouncy ranges. I want this to break through here with momentum, and I want to go to 47.69 without playing around until you get that high volatility on your options contracts that just makes them snowball and go crazy, and that's how you get those 2,000% gains. But obviously, that's few and far between. You don't want to go for that every trade, but that would be a home run trade, huh? So that is something you can look at with levels as well. Obviously, I just knew that gap was there because of that 47.69 daily level, as well as, or is that a weekly level? It's a weekly level. Because of this 47.69 weekly, as well as this daily 23.28. So, and you can map these out however you want, but I normally just go from top to bottom daily, and then I'll go over to the weekly and do top to bottom weekly. Let me go to like a bigger stock. These parabolic stocks, obviously, like the levels are like this would be a level right here. Oh, I have the right. Okay, so let's do this. That's weekly. I'm gonna do a couple of these weeklies, and I mean you get the idea. Like you just go down and you find these key levels that you see there was a lot of resistance, and that's where you want to chart it at. And basically, this is gonna help you know when you could be seeing some resistance and when you could be seeing some support. Uh, and that'll really help you when you're trading, I promise you. So make sure you guys leave a like for this video. If you did enjoy it, I'm not done just yet, but I would appreciate that. As well as signing up with WeBull and joining the Discord. But let's go into the dailies now. So I did those weeklies. I'll go to 1 day, 1 year. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and start out by charting this high. I like to chart the high because you can get a good trade off the high if it breaks it. So you always want to chart that. I don't know what color I've been using. I think it was purple. You want to do purple. Ooh, this would actually be a decent one for the daily. You can see there's 3 different points. 1, 2, actually 4. Where it caught resistance. So that's a good one. The more, obviously, like this weekly, you can tell it caught resistance a lot. So you can obviously tell it was channeled right there heavily, and that was a key level for it to break. And as soon as it broke that, it gapped up from 3,223 to 3,312. So it's a pretty big move. If you were trading that, that's a pretty good move on the week. Or that's actually daily. That's actually a 1 day candle. My bad. So yeah, that's a huge move. I could chart this right here. Oh, I didn't even chart it. My bad. All right, so I think that's about it. I think that'll really help you all. It has helped me, obviously. I wouldn't be telling you to do it if it didn't help. But I appreciate y'all watching, honestly. I hope this helps. Make sure you color coordinate it to the best of your ability so you like actually know what it is. You don't want to have these labeled as weekly and daily because that'll just get in the way of your actual candles. So just make sure you have the price up, but make sure you have show name off. And you can set all these to default, by the way. If you go edit properties and save as default, you can save it as a default. But obviously, I like to use this technique where you use the longer ones, longer dashes for weekly and the shorter dashes for daily. It just makes sense to me, but yeah. And I'll also talk to you real brief about this moving average study. I like to use the 50, 100, and 200. And you can see here just how much it respects the 50. So we literally bounced off this last week. So you can see how much it respects it. If this was to, this is just another level, by the way. Like you can use these moving averages as levels. But basically, once this broke this, if it was going to close on a daily under this, I would be looking for it to have some volume to the downside, and then my next level would probably be this 100, to be honest with you. So you can use those to your advantage as well. So make sure you look into those studies. And yeah, that's about it. You all have a good one. Appreciate it. Leave a like on the video. Thank you.